Today, we're going to be taking a look on how to submit a brand new lead within the Arcasa portal once you're ready to proceed with the MLB Green Advantage program. Now, once you've successfully logged into arcasa.io, the first thing you're going to see is your dashboard. This is where all of those new leads, whether it be something that you recently submitted or something moving down to the final steps, are going to be located so you can always reference back to that at any point once you log into Arcasa. But once you've gone here to the dashboard, you're going to see that new lead button right there in the top right corner. So we're going to click on that. Once we go in, the first step is going to be put in both the property information and the borrower's information in order for us to move to the next steps of setting up this loan with Arcasa. So let's put in those details. So I'm just going to put in some information here. Let's say you'll automatically, when we started putting in the details, it started pulling up addresses from across the country. So I'm going to pick just a random address for today's purposes, but we're going to put in this information. Then we're going to put in borrower's information as well. We're going to put in email, phone number. Okay. So we put in all those details, make sure that those are correct. We got the little check marks letting us know we completed those. So we're going to hit save lead down here at the bottom. So now this is where you're going to actually get the quote for how much that solar is going to cost and get the information and documentation that the MLB team needs in order to properly set up this file and get those disclosures created. So step number one is loan setup. So this is where you selected whether this is a purchase or a rate and term refinance. So we're going to put in our information there. Okay, set up our down payment. It's FHA, so 3.5%. It will automatically do that calculation for you in here. You can get a general idea of what the interest rate is. It just puts a random number in here, but if you want to get something a little more accurate, you could always use the MLB Quick Pricer in order to see exactly where MLB currently is at on the program. You can also open up advanced to put in details about closing costs, seller credits, property taxes, insurance, loan term, all of that type of stuff. So let's say we'll do 30-year on this one, put all those details in there. And then we're going to go to borrower assistance. So this is where you're going to select either 3.5% or 5% as the option. So we're going to go ahead and put in these details. So let's actually turn this off. We're going to select 3.5. So automatically it selects all of those. You want to just like deselect and just have selected the one option you want. So 3.5% right there. And then an optional tool is down here is that if you're working on this loan with a different borrower and maybe you have a different DPA that you're talking about, you want to see a comparison between the Arcasa option and a different program, you have the option to put that other DPA in here so you can have a comparison between the two right within the portal. But this is completely optional. The first two steps are the only ones that are required. Once we have those entered correctly, we're going to hit save and calculate down here at the bottom. And now you'll officially get a quote on how much that solar is going to cost and what comes along with that solar. So you can see here actually the DPA you're going to receive is going to be based on how much you selected. The solar cost is right there. How much they're saying roughly that borrower is going to save monthly by using Arcasa. In this case, there's calculating somewhere around $70 of saving monthly by switching over to the solar. And then you can kind of break down the rest of the kind of snapshot of the loan itself, features, all of that. So we have all that information in there. We're going to hit next in order to proceed. And here's where you're actually going to set up the loan so that you can move it forward and officially submit it to get the loan started. So these steps are required in order to make sure that it actually is submitted to the Arcasa team. So first one right here is assistance allocation. So in this case, we're setting this up right now as the 5%. And because it's 5%, this is an FHA loan, there's going to be excess funds after that DPA is paid for. So we can see that the remaining amount of that 5% goes towards the closing costs. But if we want to adjust where that goes, this is your moment to go ahead and do that adjustment. Um, Closing information, just put in estimated dates. You don't need to have the official dates in here. This is all just really just to have a general idea, just to set things up here in the system. So I'm going to put those. Okay. AUS findings. We always require an ineligible. So approve ineligible is always required on all Green Advantage loans. But it's possible that you haven't run it yet. But if you have, approve ineligible is what we require here. Real estate agent, you could put in their contact information. I'm just putting in random information for today's purposes, but we're going to put in those details. Okay. So we have all of that. We have those check marks. We put in that information. We're going to hit save. We're actually going to hit save loan for later. That's just to reset the page. And now you can actually see here is exactly how it should be set up in your loan origination system. So your LOS, this is the solar cost, the DPA, what's applied to the down payment, what's applied to the closing costs, how is this structured if you're doing it as a grant, all the way in there, and kind of how the solar is going to be, what type of system is going to be applied, how many panels, what's the estimated savings that borrower gets by using this particular program, all based on the borrower's details and, of course, the actual property address as well. So once we have all those details entered, we're good to go. All you need to do is hit right here, submit loan to Arcasa. If you're ready, go ahead, hit continue. Once you hit continue, it's going to officially send that over to the Arcasa team. And now you have started an MLB Green Advantage loan. As simple as that. Once you're on this page that says pre-closing, that means that you're ready to actually go ahead and submit this loan to MLB within the MLB broker portal. So it's not ready for MLB until you get to this pre-closing page within the Arcasa portal. And the document that the MLB team is going to require is right here at the top, right here, selected scenario document. Click on that. It will download that PDF document to your computer and then upload it into the loan file when you register with us. That way, we have the tools and information we need to get the initial disclosure packet out and submit that loan successfully to underwriting. And of course, all the rest of your documentation you're going to receive throughout the rest of the process, you're going to upload some of those into the portal here in Arcasa and the remainder of those into the MLB portal as well. So you can see the appraisal will be uploaded here once you have that, your closing disclosure once you have it, wire instructions, all of that. And if any of these fees or dates change, it gives you the chance to go ahead and make those adjustments and click update or save in order to have that in the system correctly. And you can even see, you can follow all the tasks that Arcasa are doing on their side internally, so you know exactly what's happening during the process. And of course, even post closing, you can keep an eye on this as well. So you have all of that information readily available for you to keep track of from beginning to end. If you have any additional questions in relation to the MLB Green Advantage program, always feel free to reach out to your assigned account executive or the MLB Client Services team for more assistance.